Every year, we spend billions and billions of dollars trying to get self-help. We buy audio courses, we join masterminds, we buy books, and the sad thing is most of us are going to fail at it. Our lives are not going to make any significant improvement, and the chances are you have failed up to now, and you're going to continue to fail with self-help until you recognize what I'm going to reveal. I'm going to reveal the reason why you have failed, and I'm going to show you the solution. Most people fail at self-help because they're interested in it as a source of entertainment, a form of escape from the reality. They use it as a glimpse of hope or to take their mind off their problems. But very few of them are willing to do what it takes to make self-help work. It took me 15 years to figure this out. That's right. For 15 years, I wasted my life dabbling in self-help. But once I worked in the two areas that I'm going to talk about, my life improved dramatically and quickly. By the end of the video today, you'll know why you have continually failed at self-help and what two practices you need to fix it. First, you need to get out of your comfort zone. Most people spend their entire lives in their comfort zone. If you don't get out of it and go into your what I call your growth zone, you simply aren't going to make any progress. Our comfort zone is what we're used to, what we feel comfortable functioning in. When we push ourselves and go out of that zone, we go into our growth zone. And this is where the magic happens. This is where you make improvements. The sad thing is, most of us only venture out of our comfort zones when we're forced to. You know, when your boss tells you that if your performance doesn't improve, you're going to get laid off, or when you feel the company's going to make some cuts and you want to prove yourself. If we're not scared, generally we're not going to be moved to get out of our comfort zone. And once we do get out of our comfort zone and the immediate danger has subsided, we easily slip back into our own ways. We go back into our comfort zone. But to succeed, you don't need a new technique or new system, a new opportunity, the next shiny object or book or course. What you need doesn't cost any money. That might sound contradictory coming from a guy in the self-help industry, but what you need, the foundation of everything, is you need to spend time in your growth zone. While you're in your growth zone, then you can start to apply the teachings that you have already got from self-help courses. Learning about the theory of how to improve yourself, how to grow, is wonderful, but it's not going to improve your life. You're not going to transform into the person you want to be until you take those principles and apply them. And to do this, you must get into your growth zone. We soon uncover everything that we need to reach the next step. We may be unaware of what we need to do next, but once you get into your growth zone, the next step will be revealed. And you will also run into many opportunities that will give you the chance to practice the skills you need to develop, get the knowledge you need, make the connections you need, and even manifest the situations you need to take your life to the next level. So, how do you get into your growth zone? The first thing you want to do is start small. Don't push yourself too far, because if you do, it's going to backfire on you. So I would say start by getting into your growth zone once a day for 10 minutes. And over time, you want to do it more frequently, 2, 3, 4 times a day. And also you want to expand the periods, make them longer. So go for 15, 20 minutes, an hour eventually. Once you get into your growth zone for 30 minutes, then start to observe the experience. Find out what you like about being in your growth zone. And I promise you, you will find a couple things you like about being in your growth zone. Take those things and make them the motivation, the short-term rewards to continue to stretch yourself and stay in your growth zone. There's another reason that people fail at self-help, and that is they lack the enabling capacity to make everything else start. See, in order to start working towards your dreams, you must develop discipline or everything else will fail. Now, I know discipline sounds like an old-fashioned concept. In today's age where we use apps and we're really focused on hacks, it seems that discipline is something that is old school, but discipline is the cornerstone of what is going to transform your life. Things like meditation, practices like yoga, martial arts, and the spiritual traditions have discipline as the foundation. You need to start to focus attention for extended periods of time. That's my simple definition of discipline. Learning to focus your attention for an extended period of time. The reason we need discipline is that it allows us to do what matters most. We need to focus on what needs to be done even though we don't want to do it. This is vitally important. Most people wake up, they have a list of to-do items on their daily schedule, and they start by choosing the one they are most interested in doing, the one they feel like doing. And most of the time, the one they least like is usually the most important and the one that should be addressed very, very early on. Something else related to this, once I've interviewed a CEO about what he felt was missing in self-help books. And he pointed out something that most self-help books will talk to you about the process of improving yourself, but they ignore what happens when you fall off your horse. What happens when you slide? Well, he said he attributes his success for immediately getting back on his horse and continuing. And he said at some point you're going to encounter a setback. It's vitally important to refocus, apply your discipline, and get back onto your horse. Tiger Woods is an incredible example of discipline. No matter what setbacks he has, and he's had quite a few, he manages to get back on his horse and go from a golfing pro who is at the bottom and rise back up to the top. This guy is extremely disciplined, and he's able to do what it takes to get the job done. Quick recap. The reason you have failed at self-help is because you're stuck in your comfort zone. You don't stretch yourself to go into your growth zone. Until you make going into your growth zone and functioning in it for extended periods of time, maybe 1, 2, 3 hours a day, until you do that, you're never going to go anyplace. You can read all you want about self-help, watch all the YouTube channels you want, but it's all theory. It's not going to become part of your identity, part of your daily routine until you step out into your growth zone. Second thing is that complements it is you must practice discipline. You must be able to do what matters most, especially things you don't want to do, and when you don't want to do it and you need to do these things for extended periods of time. That's discipline. So these two things go hand in hand. Until you do it, you're not going to make any progress.